Good morning. Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Peak Wellness Hour brought to you by Peak Homecare Associates. We're excited to be here with you today. We're here in Indiana. This is where we service for our non medical home care. We're here in Indiana, the heart of Indiana. We're located, our offices are located in Noblesville, but of course, we service all over Indiana. And I'm telling you today, it is a cold one here in Indiana, here in Indianapolis. The other day, it was 82 degrees. Um, it's dropped down to the 50s for the highs. So it is a bit chilly, but we are so grateful that if you are indoors, you are spending some time with us. So please subscribe, like, and share. And welcome again, Queen.
Good morning. Happy cold Saturday in April. Did you say 50s? Because my watch says it's 42 degrees, which is lower 40s.
Yeah.
It's cold. Of the night, I felt like my house is really very cold, but it's Saturday and it's peak wellness hour. I'm excited. Today I'm dressed differently, very casually, very Africanly. So this is an African dress made by my sister over 22 years ago. And here I am still rocking it. Okay, so, well, it's Peak Wellness Hour. What better day it is to bring this topic, getting ready to enter the warm season where we can do a lot to feel better. You talked about vitamin D3, a lot more of it. But do you know what month this month also is?
What is that?
Counseling Awareness Month.
Mm,
Stress and counseling must go hand in hand, right?
absolutely.
So it's also the Counseling Awareness Month. So if you're stressed, maybe you need to see a counselor. But don't wait till you're stressed before. Last week, we talked a lot about, in fact, the past 2 weeks, right? We've talked about some of the reasons we become stressed. And I do believe that last week we started going into ways to minimize, if not completely avoid, stress. My name is Edith. I'm the founder and CEO of Peak Home Care Associates. But to get the business going, I could never do it alone. So I want to take this opportunity to thank my team on the field, every single individual who gets up and goes to the home of our very, very adorable clients, our seniors. I say thank you. Please know this is from the bottom of my heart because there is no way that this can be done without the people on the field actually doing the work. And that includes me. We are all on the field. To all my care associates, thank you, and thank you again. Thank you. And of
Indeed.
course, to my nurses, Queen Angelina, to Nikki, to Tish, who's gone MIA for a little bit because she's been busy with family and other obligations. We're still a solid team. And I'm thankful for every single one of you for just hanging in with us. You know, the birthing season is quite difficult, but look, we are making it one step at a time. So thank you. I take this opportunity to say thank you.
Indeed. And it just takes a load off when you can just pay for gratitude, when we can be kind and compassionate towards
Mm,
one another.
mm,
You know,
mm.
it relieves so much stress and so much tension. It requires so much to be so angry and frustrated and have discord in our lives. So just saying things, simple things like thank you, I appreciate you to people that matter in your life is important, as you just saw Queen Edith do. We're big on those things. We're big on. My husband makes fun of me sometimes. I don't mind telling a adult, I appreciate you. I see you. You're valuable. Those things are important. Do you know how stressed out people are? In
Mm.
their day-to-day lives, and you don't know what they're carrying, you don't know what they're going through, and all it takes is one kind word, someone to acknowledge you, someone to not even acknowledge that you're going through, just see you, and it's always nice when we present ourselves in a respectable manner where we're not stressed out, where we're not frustrated, where we're not irritated. So we're going to have that conversation today. We're going to talk about getting that balance. As Queen Edith said last week, we want to talk about solutions because it's stress awareness month all month. It's counseling month all month.
Yeah.
Break these things down and not just talk about stress factors, but talk about solutions, and ways to level up, ways to be our best selves in the midst of whatever's going on in life. So I'm excited to have this conversation. So you all make sure you like and share. This is going to be a good conversation. So,
Queen, I want to say this. Sometimes we take it for granted. And when I say we, I say generally, almost all of us, we take it for granted that the people who show up at work are fighting their own battles as well. And
mhm,
sometimes we lose sight of what our employees or our partners or our team members are dealing with. We may be going through our own thing and we forget that we ourselves, we know we're going through something, but we forget others are too.
mhm,
And I don't want to lose sight of the fact that sometimes, in the midst of all odds, somebody still has to get up and work. And the only reason they are getting up to work is because they know they have bills to pay. So they push themselves. They
mhm,
push themselves. We can lay back and sleep and be depressed and let life pass us by and just decay, so to speak, alive and decaying. But we still get up and go. So for all the men, for all the women, for all of us who get up amidst and put a smile on our faces so that our seniors will cheer up when they see us. Thank you. It's so valuable.
mhm.
It's so valuable. Sometimes we have every reason not to go to work, and we
There's a
get
lot of reasons. There's a lot of
because
reasons.
I mean, we do because listen, we live in America, and the social system can kick in and help you, but people think I can work, so why not work? It's a balancing game. But I appreciate everyone. Thank you. Life
And
is hard.
I think it makes a difference when you're doing something that you enjoy. Even when it comes to caregiving, when it comes to family members caring for their loved ones, you have to want to do it. You have to you actually have to enjoy doing it. And I know people think you don't enjoy work, you don't enjoy working, but you can enjoy what you do. And I think a lot of us in healthcare overlook that. We do look at it because it's a means to end when it comes to paying bills and taking care of responsibilities. And there are a lot of people that are caregivers, whether you're in the healthcare profession or a family member, that just don't enjoy doing it, and it's so
Yeah.
unfair. It's so unfair. And I think a lot of that has to do, I think some of it has to do with stress factors. You're stressed out because the stress is on you to be that family member that's taking care of the loved one because you're the oldest, or you're the most responsible, or you're the
Mm.
closest. you know I hate my job, but I have to get up because I have bills to pay. Well, if you're taking care of people, I would like to ask that you use a PTO day and fix your attitude before you come in hating your job, taking care of people. So we have to really see the value in whatever we're doing, and how that represents us. That can take such a load off. And again, paying it forward, connecting with people. We form relationships with people, whether we seek those relationships or not. What are these relationships looking like? If we're just coworkers, What is it looking like if I'm always stressed out, if I'm always aggressive and negative, and here comes Edith, and her with her positivity and her bubbliness, and I'm like, oh, here she comes again with her positivity. I can't say, that these are the issues of our hearts. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it requires Edith to put that smile on. Maybe that's just how she feels, or maybe she's pushing through something, and she chooses to take the high road. But my negativity doesn't help the situation. And now it's a matter of balancing where who trumps who, my negativity or Edith's positivity. You know what I'm saying? Do you have to fight to keep being positive around somebody negative, or you just walk away? So we have to know our limits with that, because we take on a lot of things with other people that are unnecessary. So it's all about balance and just being true to yourself, and just taking that high road and just taking a breath and know that you were doing the best we can. And that's super cool in healthcare, when you're doing the best you can and it feels good to be great, because what you do matters. That's super awesome. That's a gift in itself. That's a reward in itself. I don't know how you all feel. That's how I feel.
And to add to that, we're talking about value a lot. And we're talking about stress today. We continue our conversation on stress. And one of the ways that you can alleviate stress is knowing that you make a difference in the life of that client. So, in other words, you were a very valuable person. If for nobody at all, for that client
Mm-hmm.
or for that family member, because you're contributing value. Listen, it may look small to you, but to them it's a big thing when they can't take a prescription and read what is on the bottle. They don't know great morning, grand rising, Sean. White Mr.
Yes.
White, God bless you.
Thank you for joining us. Happy Saturday.
Since we are queens, Queen, welcome.
Yes.
So hey Betty, grand
New
rising,
rising,
Queen
everyone.
Betty.
Yes.
So we this person just getting up from bed and with all that early morning pain, and you were there to help them and to make sure they don't fall. You think, what is this? My life is better. I'm probably more educated than this. There's more in me than this. But if you continue to look at it that way, you devalue yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't know, but I'll tell you this: you bring value. I can't say it enough, but I can say it all I want until you accept it, that you bring value. Sometimes the person needs companionship. Just because they know you are coming, they have something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And so you bring value. So if for any reason you don't feel up to it, you're struggling and you don't seem to matter to anybody around you, you feel alone and you feel stressed, you're alone, you have all these bills, and listen, the fact that you're bringing value, getting up and bringing something of value to someone
Mm-hmm.
should be reason enough for you to know that your life is worth preserving. You're worth it. And so,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
gain value.
Absolutely.
We live in a system that sometimes pulls us down, right?
Mm-hmm.
The industry we work in, the all the what do you call it? Cats, dog bites dog, cats, all these
Dog eat dog world. Is it
all
dog?
these little fights, and everybody is trying to tell on somebody and working on people to get to where they need to be, and everybody's trying to look bright and shine, and they don't care how. And sometimes you feel trampled upon. Never let anybody think you don't carry value. If that's what's causing you stress, if they don't see it, too bad. But your little contribution, however you see it, helps make the difference.
It does. It does. It's called integrity. You know, you don't do something for someone else's approval, someone else's glory, someone else's, praise. It's about integrity. What do you do when no one's looking, when no one's going to say, good job, well done? Do you still do the right thing? Do you do what matters? True story. So I had a call from a client. I had to reach out, and this man was on the phone. I never met this man, 90 years old, and he was just crying on the phone. And I was doing other things, and I had it on speakerphone. I was moving around, and my husband kind of heard the tail end of the conversation without violating HIPAA, which is a big deal, right? So the man was just crying. He says, "Honey, are you gonna come tomorrow?" He says, I need a bath. Are you gonna come?" I'm thinking to myself, I'm coming to do wound care, not give a not give a bath. I said, well, and not that I mind it, but I didn't know this man, so I'm trying to figure out what he was needing. Said, well, I
Mm-hmm.
can get you a home health aid out. He said, no, honey, I need it tomorrow. He said, I'm starting to stink. He said, I haven't had a bath in a week. And so I got there, and that's what we did. We went to the bathroom. He couldn't get into the bath. So I lathered him from head to toe. We talked about the weather. We talked about family. We talked about him being a pastor and all these different things while
Oh,
we were
he's a
doing
pastor.
that. Yeah. So and then I dressed his legs, and when I got done, he says, honey, thank you so much. Thank you. Can I just call somebody and tell them, what a good day? Can I just call somebody? Do you have a number? I said, nah, it's not a big deal. It's what was to be done. Could I possibly have left this man in this situation? That is bare minimum things to do when it comes to compassion and servitude. Those are very basic things. I don't think I know of anyone that would have left that man in that situation. Okay.
I'm glad you
That's how
don't
Peak
know.
rocks. That's how the health caregivers I know rock. I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, who do you know that would have left you in this situation? And it just broke my heart. It bothered my husband. He's like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm like, babe, it's 7:30 at night. Okay. I just clocked out for the day. I'm not driving to Plainfield. I'm not driving 30 minutes to get in a shower when I said I'll be there first thing in the morning, and it was very, so now he's looking, and now I'm feeling like, and that's the issue where with caregivers, with people of servitude, with people that give of themselves, it's very complicated when you don't have people around you that do the same, where you're not the only one picking up the load, in any circumstance. It's always nice to call on somebody. I don't cut grass, but I take care of senior citizens, but I know somebody does cut grass and we can get that need met. I know somebody that does do home repair. We can get that need met. I know somebody does transportation, get that need met. You
Service
know,
partnerships.
Yes,
You form
but we
service.
don't want to partner with anybody. We don't want to support one another. We don't want to elevate one another. We don't want to grow together. Like you said, it's a competition, but there's never enough for all of us to do. I can't do everything. I would have wished there was somebody closer that, is it's never enough. So we have to be able to be aligned with one another where we can offer, where we have resources to offer things that people need. It's never just about us. What can I offer? If I can't offer it, I want to know somebody that can. And I won't say, hey, Sean A. White needed something done. So I turned Edith on to him, so Edith can help meet that need. And he comes back and says, well, Edith did a good job. Edith was awesome. And I say something like, well, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have known Edith. If it wasn't for me to, who cares? Good job. I'm glad you got what you needed. It's never about you. You never have to interject yourself in things to get the glory. Just do the right thing. And I promise you, it all works together for the good. It all works together. And it makes it such a stress-free situation. It's so nice when Edith and I get together. Sean White and I met up, my Aunt Betty's on here, just different people. The queen that came on, Elsie, is that her name?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, just the connections that we get to make with people. And it just feels good to make those connections. It feels good to have these conversations and feel this conversation feels like value. It doesn't take a lot to be great and feel great about who you are and what you're doing in this life. And I'll end up playing there.
I'm going to link this up to mental health. You see, when you have that inner comfort, inner witness that you are enough and you bring value, whatever it is you contribute, you bring value.
Mhm.
And that you can't do everything, but you have enough to make a contribution, and that you have people around you who can do others, and together as a team we can get the job done. Whatever the work is, we can do it together without fighting each other, without pulling each other down. When you get that inside of you, it is easy to reach out for the others who have the skill sets and the knowledge that you don't have. But
Mhm.
when inside of you you feel inadequate, you feel insufficient, and so everybody becomes a threat to you. You have a client you do wound care for, and this client needs a lot more than just wound care. You call Edith, you call somebody say, Edith, this person needs this thing. I've been going there for this, and you're not afraid that Edith is going to come and take away your shine. You are confident that Edith does her part, I do my part, Sean does his part, Elizabeth does their part. Together we are bringing this man something he needs. Can you imagine how good he felt after that shower?
Mhm.
Like, for you it was just a shower, right? But for him, oh my God, he feels so much better. He has the right attitude because he can go around people. Because if he's thinking inside his head that he's thinking, he won't be comfortable being around anybody.
Mhm.
You affect
Mhm.
his whole social life. You
Mhm.
affect his community because maybe he makes somebody smile, and now he's locked up inside wherever he is, and he can't go because he himself feels like he's not adequate. Something is wrong, and they will laugh at him. So
Mhm.
one thing, we are so wired together we don't even know it. So I
Mhm.
say this: we too many people have mental health issues. It doesn't mean you are crazy, or you whatever word you use, but talk to somebody. Because if you're beginning to feel jealous and envious, everything and everybody, you have a problem. You have a problem. Get help.
Mhm. And you
It's
know what
you.
word I like? I like mental imbalance versus mental health or mental illness. I think that's why we don't like to talk about it because it sounds either good or bad. If you have mental health, you are well. If you have mental illness, there's something wrong with you. How about mental balance? Can we find a mental balance?
A mental
Sometimes
wellness.
a little bit of crazy is good. Sometimes not letting somebody walk all over you and treat you bad. You might flip out. That little bit of crazy might be a good thing. But where's the balance where you learn how to respond, where you learn how to shut your mouth and not try to win this battle, where you know how to yield, where you know how to find some inner peace? I think the balance is what's important because we're all dealing with mentality, or how we feel, how we think. We're all driven by our mental perspectives. We have to be in tune with that. We have to be real with that. And you're right, mental
Wellness. Maybe
yeah,
wellness.
yeah, yeah.
Mental wellness.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Because
it.
we check our breast health, we check our colon health, we check our digestive system, we check our reproductive systems. We do all these checks every year, cholesterol, all those, but we don't do it on our mental health,
Mhm.
the general health of our mind, and that is the one powerful thing that drives everything in our lives. Because it doesn't matter what happens to you. I've said this before on this program. It is your response, and your response comes from something you have dealt with in your past or something you're dealing with now that will determine how you view. Angelina, let's just say the Queen Angelina talks to me, say, Edith, I can't deal with you. You are so silly. I'm from an African background. She called me silly.
Mm-hmm.
How dare she call me silly? I mean, like when I lived in Ghana, we used to say an American can easily tell a little boy, a 16-year-old boy can tell mom, you're being silly, and it will not be seen as an insult. Tell an African man your age group, and you were in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
right? But so once again, it's perspective, it's nature, it's background, it's history, it's culture.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have educated yourself
Mm-hmm.
and know that, oh, stop being silly. Yeah, I'm silly. You can laugh it off. We can laugh off a lot of things that are destroying us. We can shake off a lot of things that we are taking so seriously. We are angry at people who don't know that they've even offended us.
Mm-hmm.
And we are stressed. A lot of sicknesses like cancer are coming out of these situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but they are. They are. What we are taking in mentally, how we're dealing with things mentally, is the same thing as what we're eating, and how we're taking it in, and how our body is digesting it, how our mind is processing. It's holding on to things that's clogging our arteries, our
Mm-hmm.
mental arteries, so to speak. I'm not a biologist. She knows. I don't know, but it is the truth, Queen.
Yes. And I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. We need to just chill sometimes. At the same time, we need to be very intentional in what we say. So say like with the instance with calling, maybe you silly, from a different culture, you know, that might not be a big deal here, but at the same time, we have cultures here in America that listen to things that call women all kinds of names on the radio. I
I
mean,
don't
all
mean
kinds.
to cut you. Let me give
So,
you a typical example so you know where
hmm
to go. I have my best friend, Ida. Ida is a very good friend of mine. She's American.
hmm
We've been friends since 2020, well, 2012, something like that. Over 20 years. You stupid. It is you stupid,
hmm
right?
hmm
Stupid is a huge deal. You can't tell somebody is stupid. But I knew where she was coming from, and I got
hmm
it. Hey, Queen, I got it. I get it, and I'm not upset.
But that's what I'm saying. I think if we were more intentional with our words, like we're so loose with our words. We're calling somebody silly. I love definitions. Grand Rising Queen Emma, welcome. So I'm big on my words. So silly, for instance, having or showing a lack of common sense or judgment. Use your words. Why can't you say something positive? Girl, when we call you're so silly, you're so stupid, you're so crazy, you're so dumb. They're not positive words, anyways. My point is, even if it's a cultural thing where some cultures may heavily frown upon it, something so simple versus, American culture being lax with it, by intent, you're not pouring out positive words. Why don't you try to say something more positive? You're so funny. It kind of sounds better than being silly, like you don't have any sense. If you use I like words. I'm just saying. It's just a side note. I like using my words. We have a tendency to point flaws out about people, even in the littlest senses, where we don't build them up as much as we point out little silly flaw. You're so silly, you're so crazy. How about you're so awesome? You are so smart. You're the queen of the world. We don't think, until we don't use our words intentionally, I guess, to build environments and atmospheres where it's more conducive for us to be stress free and be more accepted and more valued, I think. If that
You
makes any
you
sense.
you you make it makes sense. It makes sense, but you see, we live in a culture where we are doing things over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't see body language, we don't see face, we don't see smile.
Mm-hmm.
So if but if I'm standing in front of you and we are laughing, it's all a relationship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yes, we don't condone calling people stupid and silly and all of that stuff, because if you don't know the person,
Mm-hmm.
those are words you don't use. In a
Mm-hmm.
work environment where everything is strictly professional, you don't use those words, unless you mean them. And then that's another conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, among friends, when we are friends and talking to each other, you can say something to me and I laugh about it. We all laugh
Mm-hmm.
about it because I'm looking at you and I know you're just teasing. Because somebody will say you are awesome, they're really being sarcastic, and you
Yeah.
need to right. So they're being sarcastic. So what are you trying to tell me? I know you said awesome, but you didn't sound like you meant. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if we're going to read into these things, so we need to look at the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we need to look at the relationships that we have. If some people can say things to us and it's nothing, you don't even give it a second thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, because this is someone you have the rapport with, your friends. But I can't go and tell somebody who is on the field working for Peak and say you're stupid and expect her to laugh. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be an issue. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to cause them stress if they don't have the ability to talk to me about how that made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But so they're going to process it and process it and process it. And they're going to probably, maybe this is all they have. They have a job, this is all they have, and they need to keep it. And they feel like, okay, she's the CEO, I can, and then it becomes an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to look at the relationships. We need to define every relationship and know what limitations we're placing on our relationships, because these things are stressing us out.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of the people that when you say something to me, okay, and especially in a serious atmosphere, immediately it might not hit as it probably should, but I will process it 2 weeks from the day you said it. I'll begin to feel the pain. 2 weeks. Because I'll keep thinking, I process things, I chew on it and chew on it. 2 weeks from there, it will take me a long, and you'll be surprised I'll come at you with it a month from there. I'll say, I'm thinking about this thing and it continues to bother me, so let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people. So we need to be careful. Things are causing people stress.
Mm-hmm.
We are allowing things to cause us stress. Is this something you can shake off?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something you can cancel? Speak counter speak a word to it, to say, oh no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I am awesome. I'm a great woman. I am a
Mm-hmm.
friendly person. I am not a mean person. Just speak to yourself and speak against those words and just have your peace, because the person is gone. When you're stressing, the sickness is on you, the diseases are on you, the fat
Mm-hmm.
chicks are coming on you, everything is coming on you, not that. We need to
Mm-hmm.
figure out a way to let go. We need to have that inner resilience, not to take everything personal, even if people meant it to be personal.
Mm-hmm.
Just let
And
it
ask
go.
yourself, how important is it? Whatever's going on, how is it affecting you? How is it going to affect you? Does it really matter? When we allow our blood pressure to go sky high, and we're flipping out, what's the end result of our responses? What's the end result? Queen Betty says, so true, Edith. My sister-in-law is from Nigeria. She's a CNA, works long hours, but aside from that, she has her own store. She is strong, but she is one of the kindest persons I've ever met. Yeah,
Queen Betty, hey, yeah.
yeah. I don't think it takes very much to be kind. Like you said, I think there's so much going on. We need to evaluate self first. You know, what's going on around us, what's going on in this traffic, what's going on with this job, with this coworker, with this relationship, what's being said, what's being done. And again, does it matter? How do we respond? If I respond in aggression, what's the end result? If I respond in compassion, sometimes being too nice is not so nice. You have to find a balance. So when we respond, be intentional with your response. That's what I'm saying with your words. Be intentional with everything you do, everything you say, and it just kind of guides you better. You're more clear-minded. You're more focused on what's going on, and you can actually see the outcome a lot better than in this fog of frustration, if that makes any sense. So, yes,
Sorry.
we appreciate. No,
The
you're fine.
caregiver is running late, so I'm just.
Mm-mm. We appreciate everyone's comments. We appreciate you tuning in. You are tuned into the Peak Wellness Hour. We're always here every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do not catch us on live, you can always go back and watch on replay. In the descriptions, you can find all of Peak's information from the website to the Facebook page, YouTube page, all that good jazz. So make sure you all keep up with us. We really enjoy doing what we do as far as what we do professionally. But then, of course, coming together with you all and the interaction's so nice. The sharing is so nice. We appreciate it. So thank you for being here with us. So, and if you're just tuning in,
So
we're talking about stress and
we're
stress
talking about
relieving.
stress, and we've been talking about it a lot. And I think I'm hearing about stress more. I don't know whether it's the age I am in, the period I'm in, or it's just something that's going on. Our mother suffered it too, and we just didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm reading this article, and I want to look at. Says experts all get stressed out. Experts get stressed out, and personality types, they define personality type. I can't get into the details. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it. At the beginning, our first week, you define stress.
I can do it again. Let me find
Yeah.
it. All right.
Whilst you're looking for it, I read this. I'm reading this from National Today. It says we can post the link. It says stress
It's
can help.
posted.
I
It's
should
on the
post it.
Facebook page. No, it's on the Facebook page on the Peak Home Care Associates Facebook page. It's on there.
Okay. It says one, stress can help. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, stress can motivate people to prepare or perform and might even be life-saving in some situations. I'm thinking, when I read this, I'm thinking feel the fear and do it anyway. That stress that comes with maybe mounting a stage to
Mm-hmm.
perform.
Mm-hmm.
There's that stress, there's fear, there's anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
but it's for it's maybe stage frights or for whatever you do. Like we're coming on live. I've done it so much I don't even think about it. I've done it so much I don't think about it. But for some people it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal that happens and that causes stress. It says literally it is sickening. People under stress, especially those prone to chronic stress, are more susceptible to a variety of ailments, from headaches, insomnia to high blood pressure and disease. Wow. A
Mm-hmm.
survey by the American Psychological Association found that the five factors most often cited as a source of stress were money, ooh, work, family, economic outlook, and relationships. Money, work, family, economic outlook, and relationships. Which one of these is causing your stress? The highest and lowest stress states. A report on Wallet Hub found that the most stressed out states in America are Louisiana, New Mexico, and West Virginia. The least, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Utah. Why? I'm curious to know why. I'm
You said
curious.
release for which ones?
The least stressed states are Minnesota, North Dakota, and Utah.
Well, because there's no, they don't got no population. It's not overpopulated. It's not overcrowded. It's more. Those are more of what do you call them? Kind of states, where like agriculture kind of states. You know what I'm saying? It's not a
But
bunch of
that's what
hoopla.
Indiana also is. How come Indiana is not on that list?
No, we're not. This is. I'm not gonna say anything about Indiana. I think people. I think people in those kind of environments, they've always been there. They're not so big of. They don't have big melting pot kind of cultures in that area. So the way things have been done, you know what I'm saying, they've always been done. That old Western, what's the show that everybody's watching, Yellowstone, that whole mindset where those ranchers and those oil workers and those plant workers, those kind of mentalities, they're not high drive economic kind of places where they're fixated on material kind of things. You know what I'm saying? They're just kind of like an Amish kind of mindset, I guess, if you want to say. I don't want to say Amish, but they're just kind of they're secluded from the nonsense, it seems, in my opinion. To where it's not so much chaos. They're not dealing with trying to fight for schools and the situations with public schools versus private schools and charter schools and fighting for jobs. Those jobs they've had for decades. You know what I'm
So
saying? So
let
they're
me
not
ask
out of
you.
work.
Let me ask you. So what is it about Louisiana, New Mexico, and West Virginia that makes them the most stressed out states? Louisiana, New Mexico. I don't know anything about.
Poverty, poverty, poverty will stress anybody out. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
I
In
don't mean to put you on the
comparison,
phone.
I don't know anybody in the anybody in the chat have a difference of opinion, difference thought. Give me your perspective.
But he
I'd like to
says
look
the
that up. I'd like to
yeah,
look that up. You guys look at nationaltoday.com. If you go over to our Facebook page, our Peak Home Care Associates page, and scroll down some, I posted that link some time ago, but it's National Today Stress Awareness Month. I, Poverty causes a lot of stress. The crime rate goes up. The homelessness rate goes up. The hunger rates go up. The suicide, all those things when poverty's in play. You think rich people want to rob people? Rich people go to. It just doesn't happen like that. People do the most ridiculous things out of necessity, out of lack. So in Louisiana, if you depending on what part of Louisiana you're in, part of Virginia you're in, New Mexico's even have to go there right now. I don't want to sound any kind of way. This is it's poverty. It's people. Look at what happened with the Louisiana with the flood. They're still trying to fix that mess. I don't know. I don't
it
know, but I
makes
think
sense.
that economics has everything to do with the downfall of society. If you look at the billionaires that we have, they have enough money to help everybody. I mean, I don't mean handing out people's money, but if you build up grocery stores that were economically feasible, healthcare, schools, they still have enough money to still be billionaires. There's no reason why we should have children going to bed hungry, why two-parent households should be working two jobs, why schools are raising our children, and they don't want to do that. Teachers don't want to raise nobody else's children. They're not educating, they're raising these children. Nobody, that's where the stress factor is.
Let me read this. It says why Stress Awareness Month is important. It reminds us to pay attention to our health. So, according to the official website, cooperative efforts to inform people about the dangers of stress, successful coping strategies. So, I think that one of the things we need to come up and discuss is the how are we coping? What are our cope mechanisms? Successful coping strategies and harmful misconceptions about stress that are prevalent in our society. Its Stress Awareness Month has been an ongoing campaign of awareness and education since 92. I never heard about it until this year. And they have a survey of a lot of stuff. But yes, the main reason is it brings us into the awareness of how best to take care of our stress, of our health, because stress is associated with some of the health issues you and I are suffering.
Hmm. Definitely. Definitely. You know what? I wanted to bring up something really quick. So, Queen Betty said, I can tell you that here in Indiana, nursing jealousy is high and very stressful. Nurses are good at setting up other nurses for failure simply out of
Uh,
jealousy. I have seen it so many times. And it was interesting because in nursing school, I remember them, my instructors, which are awesome instructors, telling us that the old eat the young in nursing. I'm like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you want to help somebody? I'm just always trying to help. And I've seen it. You know, Edith tries to get another job, and I'm calling, telling this job. I sent somebody to find out where Eve's going to work. Edith gave it 2 weeks notice. Find out where Eve's working from a friend that didn't even know that she's setting up her friend because I'm a crooked manager. And now I turn around and I call and badmouth this woman to a job she just hasn't even started yet. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. And then they laugh about it. And they laugh about it in front of other people. And I wonder what other people think. Do you think that it wouldn't happen to you? It's so interesting. But instead, we see it. And sometimes we don't think it can happen to us because we're in the midst of it. But then you don't think enough to say, hey, that's not cool. That ain't right. I'm gonna go run and tell that. Oh, I'm a snitch on bad behavior. Don't y'all come over here with your bad behavior over here because I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm gonna tell it when it comes to inappropriate behavior and malice behavior when it causes harm to other people because you're a menace to society and you're a danger to yourself. That's more important. You remember that
that's
song, My Pink,
different
I'm a hazard
from
to myself.
that's different from Edith is the manager and she doesn't like Angelina, and this is going to be, oh my God, personal vendetta. I'm gonna make sure she works nowhere. I'll show her where power lies. Thing which is so vindictive and wrong. Are you gonna feed her family? Are
Oh, they
you
don't
gonna
care.
take care of her? You
They
know.
don't care. They don't care. And they'll smile in your face all the while like they didn't just do what they did. I promise you. It's so wild. We need to have some compassion. I'm running and telling it. We need to have some compassion. We're all going through, and like we have said, we're tying this in with mental well-being, mental wellness month. We have to have a balance for, first of all, we have to have some accountability for our actions. Okay. We have to have some balance in how we respond to things. And what you do makes a difference, whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. There is always a consequence to action. Okay. And it's not just your consequence. People, I don't, I tell you all the time, I don't like to be somebody else's casualty of destruction. I don't. So, that little commercial, if you see something, say something, tell me, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep you out of harm's way, but we have to do better. Are we our brother's keepers? Not necessarily, but we have to be able to have feel safe in our own environments. Feel this is our environment. This is you all are here with us. We are in your environment. We want to feel safe. We want you all to feel safe. That's a big deal. We can't come over here being ratchet and reckless and just telling you anything and just we can. But where's the accountability? Where's the trust? You know, I don't know. What you got, Queen? We're almost out of time. This has been a good conversation. It's always a good conversation.
It's always a good conversation. Listen, we're talking about being kind and to others and have compassion and be compassionate. Be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be kind to yourself. Even if you've made a mistake and you realize you've made a mistake, you realize it. That's a good step. How do you fix it? How do you fix it? Figure it. Find a way to fix it. Talk to the person. Talk to somebody. Get the help you need. A lot of us are carrying things, secrets, things we can't share with anybody because our ego, our personality, the image you project out there, everything may seem to be at stake. Get a professional who can provide a safe space for you to talk about it. One of the biggest causes of stress is because we're carrying too much inside. It's true. We are
Mm-hmm.
carrying too much inside. Whatever is eating you up, it's inside of you. So it's really eating you. When you let it out, it can't eat you up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's eating you up. It's eating your lungs. It's eating your eyes out. It's eating your heart out. It's slowly. It's like a virus. Eating bacteria. It's gonna destroy your. Find a safe space. Sometimes a counselor's job is to listen. Sometimes all they do, if that's what you need, is listen. Give you the opportunity to let it all out so you can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Once you let it out, you've emptied yourself out and you've created space for you to think and process better
Mm-hmm.
because you've taken out the garbage. It's that simple sometimes. Honestly, it's that simple. You are worth it. So be kind to yourself and talk to somebody. Be kind. Hi, my prophet David. God bless you.
Welcome.
Be kind to yourself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a student and I have classmates, and the school workload, oh my God, is huge. We are a lot of us are adults. School, work, life. Get a plan and work the plan. So maybe you have school work, make it be your children's homework. Write it down and work it. Because as you work it, you realize that you are tackling the situation. You are not thinking about it so much that it's stressing you. You are tackling it. Tackle the problem. If it's a situation with debt, who do you owe? Make a list of the people you owe, the whatever you owe, and look at your income. When you take out savings and you take that little thing, how much can you contribute? $10 maybe for each person. Total $100. You're doing something about it. It may be little, but you'll be surprised how much peace that will give you. Let's not run away from those. What do you call it? um those who call you and demand money, debt,
The debt collectors.
let's not run away from them. Let's talk to them. The day they stop calling you, that day is when you're in trouble. But as long as they keep calling, they're willing to work with you. Let's work with them. Stress, because finances is a big deal. Debts, credits, loans, stuff. You took a loan, you took this, you took that, and now you've lost your job, or now you lost that job that used to pay you so much, and now you're getting less money. Work it out. Even if it's $10 a month, listen, it's better than them not getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them you may have a little money to pay them off. Please work. What is it about your job that's causing you stress? If it's too much, get another.
Mm-hmm.
Find something, but your life is important. Your health is important. I miss you too, darling. I want to come see you. I promise you, I really want to come see you. I love you. Thank you for showing up. I will come see you. I want to call you. I will call you, Dolce. It's good to see you. Thank you.
Yes.
Stress.
You know what though?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say this too. On top of dealing with debt and the stress of that, pay yourself first. And this is another conversation. We don't have time, and we'll get into this another time, but pay yourself first, because that debt's going to be there It's always, you're always going to have something that you owe somebody. As long as you have bills, electricity, gas, all that. Pay yourself first if that's a little bit at a time, because when things fall short, then you have something to rely on. That debt, you can set up your little payment plan and learn how the system works with that. But make sure you're setting yourself up for success. Make sure you're putting your finances and your resources in um, different baskets to grow your resources and continue to get the financial education you need, so that you're not in these situations. We're dealing with seniors that are having hard economical issues. We're dealing with seniors. We're dealing with the baby boomer population right now. I don't know if you all know, but the age of retirement has gone up yet again. I'm never going to get to retire if I leave it up to the system. But rich people that have wealth, not just money, they have wealth. They're not worried about nobody's social security check. Okay. They're not going to miss it because they have plans set up. They have their resources and their finances set up. They have assets. So, by all means, make sure that you go ahead and pay yourself, because by the time when you're done paying off your house and things are paid off, if you don't pay them property taxes, they coming for your house. So make sure you have a plan to where you are not in a rut, especially when we're talking to our senior citizens, to those that are taking care of senior citizens. This is the prime time to see what's going on right now. All that money, I'm 42 years old. That Social Security money is not going to be there for me, and there is no plan behind it. We have to start thinking like that and being realistic.
Would you like to do some financial education one of these days on our program? Because I know I need it.
We
You know,
can.
yeah. So maybe we should choose. April's almost ended. Why don't we make the
It
month of
is
May?
almost over. I like April.
You love April?
I do. It's a nice time. The weather, I know we talked earlier, the weather balances like it does, but it's nice. It's an in between. It's a reflection time. You start to see things grow. The rain is there. It's just beautiful. I think nature is just at its finest in April. It's so fun. But yes, we can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. May is coming up. And you all remember next month is what, nursing national Nurses Week sometime, and then June we got National CNA, or I guess it's not national. It's Nurses Week, and CNA was not national.
Well, nurses, we all need to learn to manage our finances, So it's a
Yeah.
it's a good thing to do. Like we make May, if it's okay with you, a financial, health month or financial education month, or
We
how
can.
do you how do you get from being in the negatives to being to coming to some positive and even having something in your savings account?
Hmm.
How are we prioritizing our money?
Hmm.
I know I need that education. I know I do. So you talk about pay yourself first, and I'm feeling guilty because
Me too.
so there's just a lot going on, and nobody's life is perfect. But
Hmm.
the problem is that some of us are not afraid to say it as it is for ourselves. But yeah, I think that would be a good thing to do. And whilst we enjoy summer is a good month where people have saved for a year
Oh
and
yes.
planning. Some of us haven't saved for a year, so we can't go to a vacation that we would love to. But how about next year? What can we do today to be able to take time off and go somewhere fun next year and not feel like we're spending everything we have? You
Or
know,
set small goals. You're trying to go to Cancun or the Bahamas for the summer. You have to put it up for next year. Why not go to Cincinnati or Tennessee? You can see something close. Don't limit yourself just because you don't have the means to do something bigger outside of what you're capable of doing at the time. Don't deprive yourself of living your life. It is no fun going to work all day every day just to spend, just to pay for bills and responsibilities. You have to find a way to take a break. If you have vacation time, we're actually out of time, but if you have vacation time, what's so bad for me? I'd rather use take 2 days, a Friday and a Monday, and take a 4 weekend vacation, 4 day weekend, and do it every other month instead of trying to spend up all these PTO hours for a week and a half. You can, if you give me 4 days off in a row every other month to find a peace of mind and do something I
That
enjoy.
is so stress relieving.
Yeah.
That's a very good stress relieving strategy. Look
There's
at
so
this.
many
You always
parks,
want
so many
thinking.
museums. You can go anywhere in the United States. So many things to see.
I want to go to, you know where I want to go to? I want to go and see the Noah experience, Noah's Ark in Kentucky. And it's right across
Hmm.
and drive there. Go there early Saturday morning and come back by Saturday evening or even Sunday or whatever day I can go. So I want to
Yeah.
I've been wanting for years and never done it. Why not this time?
See, yeah, when we had to get out of that mindset, we think things are. I remember being younger, thinking things were expensive. $20 this for this, $300 for that. And now that very thing I might spend $1,000 on. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized that $200 was on the cheap end. You know what I'm saying? You get what you pay for. Depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we have to give ourselves leeway to expand on what we can do, expand on our greatness and our capabilities, and not limit ourselves. I promise you, you'll be so much more stress free when you stop telling yourself what you cannot do, what you do not deserve, what you won't never have, what you never had. Think about the possibilities. Think outside of the box. I don't fit too well in a box. So think about all your opportunities. There's no reason where every day you wake up you are in a state of stress and distress. Wake up on the right side of life and go from there.
By the way, I love the white on you. Next week I'll probably find a white and wear it too.
I'm always wearing dark colors on here. I try to
I
lighten it up a
love
little
the
bit.
white on
Thank
you.
you, Queen.
It's
Thank
so
you.
cheerful and bright. You
Thank
you
you.
you made some great point. We're planning for the big vacation, and we work, and we are stressed. So what if you get sick in the process of waiting for the big vacation? It probably may never happen. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
So do something locally. There's so many things we can do locally wherever we live. There's so many places. Go walk somewhere. Go sit somewhere. Go see Michael Jackson house. Go see Rose. There's so many. We have something Walker. What's her name? Something
Madam
Walker.
CJ Walker.
Madam C.J. Walker. We have a lot here, right here in our state, and it doesn't matter where you live. There's a lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
I believe that you're worth it. Why be stressed anyway? When we can't do anything about the situation, but the moment we start working on it, those little things, you know.
And just remember, stress is a choice. It's actually a choice. Nobody can stress you out in no situation. It's a choice to feel that way. It's a feeling, and it's yours to have. So
And the perspective,
enjoy.
and the perspective.
Hmm.
Just let's take the steps and fix the problem as much as we can to the best of our ability. As we do that, we realize that it's solvable. We can deal with it, and so we don't need to deal with stress. Let's deal with the problem rather than focus on being stressed.
Hmm.
Wow.
Amen. You heard it here first. Please like, share, and subscribe. We can go all day. We are a few minutes over. So you see the information scrolling down below. You can get a hold of us. We are here for you on all kinds of different levels, entrepreneurship, nursing, healthcare, caregiving, counseling, coaching, just showing some love so you can get a hold of us. We really hope you enjoyed spending time with us. We enjoyed the interaction. We enjoyed the engagement. We have so much love and respect for you all. The fact that you actually do engage, you just don't come and listen, you engage. Again, you share your thoughts. You are certainly family to us, and we enjoy the relationship, and we cannot wait to continue to build with that. You want to send us off, Queen? Till next time. Go ahead.
So, dear friends and family, like the Queen Angelina says, stress is a choice. The feeling might be there, but stop feeding it. It is also a perspective. The way you look at the situation determines the way you respond or react to it. Finally, figure out what is causing the stress. Is it solvable? It may not be something you can solve in a day, but is it something you can take steps to begin to solve, to alleviate the pressure off of you? Then do it. Sometimes the reason we are stressed is because we are not prepared for what just came at us. But we have the strength in us to tackle it. You're worth it. You're worth it. Your health is worth it. Your tomorrow is worth it. If you live another 10 years, stress for 5 years, you will die or you live those latter lives in pain. It's not worth it. So, whatever it is that is causing you this stress, figure it out, do what you need to do, and overcome it. You can, and you should, and you must, and you will, and you're worth it. Enjoy life. It doesn't have to cost money. Find the things you can enjoy that don't cost you so much money. Have a happy weekend until we come your way next time. My name is Edith, Homecare Associates, and with me has been my nurse, my buddy, my counselor, my therapist, and of course our client care coordinator, Queen Angelina. This is Homecare Associates. We are located in Noblesville, Indiana. We serve the general Indianapolis area. Don't assume we don't do it. Ask us. We look forward to your calls. We look forward to your emails. We look forward to your text messages. We look forward to your questions. We look forward to your comments. Reach out to us. It will be a pleasure to speak with you. Take care.
Peace, love, and blessings.
Bye.